Christine, according to my math now, we're exactly 48 hours away from kickoff.
Thank you for keeping that.
Your math?
Santa Clara, yes.
Your
my
math?
yes.
He's the math guy.
Levi Stadium is 44 miles away from here, Sue Bierman Park. We've got Dan. We've got Boog back here with us. We've got a two-time Super Bowl champ. You've been here before. Yeah. You understand the impact of defense. Let's talk about X factors, and let's start with the defensive impact. Give us one X factor per team. Let's start with the Patriots.
No doubt. I'm going to start with Christian Gonzalez, the do-it-all corner for the New England Patriots. I think at some point, if you're Seattle, you're going to want to get the ball to JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's been outstanding all year. And I know it's a lot of game plans. How do you cover him? Do you double him? At some point, allow JSN to take this game over. He can't have one of those vintage 10 for a $180. You can't have one of those. I think Christian Gonzalez has to play well. And then on the other side, Kev, when you start talking about the Seattle Seahawks, Ernest Jones, their do-it-all linebacker. The Rams, which they still had him, they don't. Seattle has him, and he's been making plays sideline to sideline. And if Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniel want to run the football and give the ball to Stevenson or Henderson, look for Jones to make a lot of tackles sideline to sideline. He's been an unsung hero for this defense all season long.
Jones understands the moment. He won a Super Bowl with the Rams as well.
Yeah, all right, so you're our quarterback, not a two-time Super Bowl champ, but you're our quarterback. So let's talk about the offensive side of the ball.
Motor City Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Oh, I'll start saying that.
Voters?
Yeah. Put it on their resume.
Beautiful.
That's how we're introducing you.
That's
wow.
Okay, so since you are that, offensive X factors.
Yeah, I'll start with New England. And New England, really at the back half of the season into the playoffs, started to put 6 offensive linemen on the field. Thayer, Munford. We've talked about the Seattle defense. I think that's a huge part to create against a really good pass rush. And then for Seattle, their tight ends. Booger's 100% right. Once again on JSN, he's dynamic. But these tight ends, A.J. Barner, Eric Siebert, Arroyo's back. They're such an integral part of pre-game, pre-snap, the motions, the formations, how they want to take advantages of it. It's the point at the run game for them that they consistently win on their outside run game. And Sam Darnold in their boot game, the keeper aspect that allows some of the big shots down the field off that action. So those 2 tight ends, if not those 3 tight ends against a very good New England defense, I think have to have a big game.
Their tight ends have 7 receiving touchdowns in the regular season, none in the playoffs, so we'll see what they're able to do in the Super Bowl.
All right, all the analysis is out the door. Who's going to win and why?
Here's the thing I always say, Kev. In Vegas, they didn't build those buildings by betting on the underdog. Vegas always picks the favorite, and there's a reason, because they're the better football team. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks 37-21. Quite frankly, unless there are turnovers involved, I don't think this game is going to be close. I think when you look at the Seattle Seahawks defense, it will be one of the better defenses, if not the best defense that New England has seen as far as on all 3 levels. And I just think at some point, you may take away Jackson Smith and Jigba, but here's a guy that's got Super Bowl experience. Cooper Kupp, I think he's going to have a big day. Barring turnovers or unfortunate weather or an electrical substation that's located somewhere here in the stadium, I think Seattle wins this game, and I think they win it very comfortably.
That's a big pick, Ramses. 37 points against that New England defense.
Yeah.
You gotta get a call from Mike Vrabel. I'm taking Seattle 2017. Seattle's the better football team. Seattle and the LA Rams are the 2 best football teams. And I do believe that New England's defense can keep them in this game and keep it close. But this is a football team that has outscored their opponents by 230 points this year. That's the most in the last 10 years in the NFL. They are the #1 scoring football team in the first quarter in the NFL. This is a team that is way more dominant, that has got the national attention. I think New England hangs, but Seattle's just too good.
Everybody thinks the Seahawks are running away with this. I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday. You know why he called you that, right?
Yes, I do, because of the North Carolina mascot, which leads me to my final.
Oh, boy. They shouldn't have done that.
No, well, I'm just saying, it just leads me to my final thing.
Boy,
if you're going to call me a Carolina mascot, I must thank I must thank Baby Jaguar and the Seattle Seahawks.
This is a tiger.
I'm just saying.
This is a tiger.
Thank you, Baby Jaguar.
That's a liger.
Seahawks.
What?
What'd you call him, the
Thanks,
Seahawks?
guys.
Yeah, I mean, look at him.
What you got for
He
me?
said it's for the Eagles, though.
Bland.
No.
That's what I got.
He's got your palate.
Steve Williamson, Kevin Nagandi here. Kev, I'm going to let you do the math, as I said. It is a perfect day to talk about some matchups that our experts are looking forward to on Sunday.
Also coming up this hour, one of the most exciting football players ever to play the game, Michael Vick, is going to join us live. We're going to talk a little bit about the breakdown with the quarterbacks, but let's talk about that game as we are less than 49 hours away from kickoff. Last night, Drake Maye just missed out on winning the NFL MVP, but Sunday night, he can become the youngest quarterback to win this Super Bowl at age 23. Sam Darnold, just the 3rd quarterback in NFL history to start a Super Bowl in his 5th team or later, looking to be the first to win it. During the regular season, Maye and Darnold, they rank 1 and 2 in yards per attempt. It's the third time since the merger that the top two leaders in YPA meet in the Super Bowl. Darnold has been even better in his 2 playoff games, while Maye's numbers have fallen off during the postseason, and he's been using his legs facing some tough defenses, especially the last 2 times out. And 2-time Super Bowl champ, Booger McFarland here with us. Nice to see you working, Boog. Dan Orlovsky also on the set here. You don't leave. You stay here in the beginning, and you're just everywhere. You're the Iron Man.
How come he gets to open up with 2-time Super Bowl champ?
Because he has the rings.
Yes.
What would you like to say for you?
That's probably fair.
Yeah, 2-time first take appearance, Dan Orlovsky. That's where we're at.
Hey, I can give you some kudos. The guy that ran out of the back of the end zone.
I was going to say that, but I didn't.
The one who was left. You're the one at this company who hadn't gone there.
I didn't say that.
Friendship is fractured.
Fractured. That's why we got to separate you guys. Hey, let's talk about the quarterbacks. If this game comes down to the wire, kind of like what we saw 11 years ago in Super Bowl 49, which quarterback do you trust the most?
Yeah, Sam Darnold, one, the confidence that he's displayed in some big moments here recently, and then the hot element of his play caller, Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak is a play caller right now. It's just in a rhythm. And so you combine that with an offensive line that's playing at a good level, JSN, who's the offensive player of the year, and a quarterback that has kind of gotten the monkey off of his back with the way that the season ended for him in 2024, and has really played 2 outstanding games in the playoffs and in the NFC Championship game against the Rams. It's the career game for him. If he can replicate that throughout that game, and certainly late in the football game, the Seahawks are going to be Super Bowl champs.
Boy, I love when you're wrong. The question was, if the game is close, which quarterback do you trust the most? So if the game is close, that means, in my opinion, Sam Darnold's thrown a couple of picks. There have been a couple of turnovers. That means Drake May's having a better day. And I trust Drake Maye more in that situation than I do Sam Darnold for a number of reasons. Hey, we all know what he's done running the football and using his legs. And so I'd rather have 2 bites at the apple, one with the arm, one with the legs. I think Drake Maye, if this game gets in a position where it's close in the 4th quarter, I'll take Drake Maye, because the only way it is close in the 4th quarter is Sam Darnold has made a couple of turnovers.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
The 2-time Super Bowl champion as a defensive player is betting against the best defense in football late in the game.
I'm betting against the quarterback.
Yeah, the question was about
We're going to get the defense in a moment.
Yeah, let's talk about the other intriguing matchup that you're looking forward to, Dan.
Yeah, I'm fascinated to watch Josh McDaniels in this New England offense versus Mike McDonald in this Seattle defense. And I think the big thing is this. Josh McDaniels has to get Mike McDonald to blitz. This is a defense in Seattle that likes to play with 4 men at the line of scrimmage, 7 guys in coverage, allow that defensive line to dominate. If you can get him uncomfortable and pressuring and blitzing, that signals to you, I've got him. He's worried. He's not comfortable calling his go-to play calls. And so can Josh McDaniels not waste plays? That's going to be a huge part. You only get so many opportunities against this elite defense to, hurt them. Can this offense in New England, when the opportunity is there, because there will not be more than 3 or 4, can they hit it? And then can you get Mike McDonald to be like, you know what, they've got me right now. I got to send pressure to make them uncomfortable. That's the game within the game I'll be fascinated by.
You know, it's amazing how this works out. The guy who's least handsome between he and I talks about the sexy stuff, and that's Dan. I'm going to talk about the things that are unsexy. And to me, that's the guys on the line of scrimmage.
Yourself.
I think, not me. I think if you're Seattle, those guards, Gray Zabel, Anthony Bradford. If you're New England, we got to take advantage of those. Christian Barmore, Milton Williams. If they can control the line of scrimmage with those defensive tackles, and I'm going to tell you, I don't care who the quarterback is, Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes, Dan Orlovsky, doesn't matter. Interior pressure changes things. And if Milton Williams and Barmore can wreck those 2 guards, and we're going to take turns lining up against Anthony Bradford.
Yeah.
I think Gray Zabel has been pretty good, but we're going to see if Anthony Bradford is ready for the big time. That's a matchup that I can't wait to watch inside that nobody's talking about. We talk about the sexy stuff. Yeah. I want to talk about the interior line of scrimmage. I think that's going to be a huge factor in this game.
Milton Williams, by the way, won Super Bowl 59 with the Eagles.
Yes.
I like this matchup right here. Yes. You guys are going to come back a little bit
He said
later.
Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes, and
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
What a win for me.
2 Hall of Famers and you.
All right, Tony and Mike have our PTI bonus